Australia is one of the most unique and biologically significant continents on Earth. Its geographic isolation for over 40 million years has allowed its wildlife to evolve in ways that are unlike anywhere else. Surrounded by the Indian and Pacific Oceans, Australia is geographically isolated from other land masses. This isolation began when the supercontinent Gondwana broke apart, causing Australia to drift away from the land masses of South America and Antarctica. This long period of geographic separation led to a radical divergence in the types of animals and plants that could evolve on the continent. Australia's geographic isolation has shaped its biodiversity in profound ways. Its diverse habitats range from arid deserts, tropical rainforests, alpine regions, and rugged coastlines. Each of these ecosystems supports specialized flora and fauna adapted to very specific conditions. The Great Dividing Range, which stretches from the northeastern part of the continent to the southeastern coast, plays a crucial role in the continent's geography, acting as a barrier that divides the moist, temperate forests from the arid outback. The country's vast and varied landscapes, from rainforests in the far north to deserts in the center and alpine regions in the south, have created many distinct ecological niches. For instance, the tropical rainforests in Queensland are home to a rich diversity of species, including the endangered cassowary and the tree kangaroo. The vast deserts in Central Australia, on the other hand, support uniquely adapted species such as the red kangaroo and the thorny devil lizard, both of which have evolved to thrive in extreme heat and water scarcity. The coastal regions are home to the world-renowned Great Barrier Reef, a marine ecosystem that supports a staggering variety of life, including corals, fish, sea turtles, and marine mammals. In addition to its land-based habitats, Australia's surrounding oceans also play a significant role in supporting biodiversity. The Great Barrier Reef, one of the most famous ecosystems in the world, is the largest coral reef system on Earth. It is home to thousands of marine species, including fish, mollusks, and marine mammals, such as dolphins and dugongs. The unique combination of marine and terrestrial environments has allowed for a staggering range of species to thrive across the continent. The evolutionary history of Australia's wildlife is shaped by its long-term geographic isolation. As mentioned earlier, when the supercontinent Gondwana began to break apart, Australia began its slow drift towards its current location. This movement, beginning around 40 million years ago, created an environment where species could evolve without much interference from new arrivals or external factors. Over millions of years, this isolation allowed species to adapt in ways that were very different from those on other continents. As a result, Australia is known for its extraordinary level of endemism, where a large proportion of its species are found nowhere else in the world. Australia's mammals, for instance, include some of the most distinctive groups, such as marsupials, mammals that carry and nurse their young in pouches, and monotremes, egg-laying mammals like the platypus and echidna. The earliest marsupial ancestors arrived in Australia more than 50 million years ago, and over time, they diversified into an extraordinary variety of species. Notable examples include kangaroos, koalas, wombats, and the Tasmanian devil. These species evolved with unique adaptations to the Australian environment, such as the kangaroo's powerful hind legs for efficient travel across vast distances, or the koala's reliance on eucalyptus leaves for food. Monotremes are another key part of Australia's evolutionary story. The platypus and echidna are the only extant representatives of this ancient group of egg-laying mammals. These creatures are considered living fossils because their evolutionary history dates back to the time when mammals were just beginning to evolve. Despite being mammals, monotremes have characteristics found in reptiles, such as laying eggs instead of giving birth to live young. The isolation of Australia also played a role in the evolution of birds and reptiles. The iconic emu, the world's second largest bird, evolved to thrive in Australia's open habitats, just as the cassowary, a large flightless bird, became adapted to the rainforests. Meanwhile, reptiles like the thorny devil have evolved intricate adaptations to survive in the harsh deserts of Australia, using their spiny armor for defense and relying on rainfall for hydration. In addition to mammals and reptiles, Australia has also seen the evolution of a remarkable array of marine life. The Great Barrier Reef, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, supports a rich diversity of fish, corals, and marine mammals. Australia is home to iconic marine species such as the dugong, a herbivorous sea mammal closely related to the manatee, and saltwater crocodiles, the largest living reptiles. Australia's long evolutionary history has also led to the development of many species with specialized behaviors and adaptations. For example, some species have evolved mechanisms to cope with Australia's extreme climate, such as the red kangaroo, which can survive with minimal water intake and regulate its body temperature to withstand the heat of the desert. Similarly, the thorny devil lizard can collect and channel water from rain or dew directly into its mouth through grooves in its skin. The endemism of Australia is a key reason why it is considered one of the world's biodiversity hotspots. With roughly 80% of Australia's mammals, 90% of its reptiles, and 45% of its birds being endemic, the continent hosts species found nowhere else on Earth. However, this endemism also means that the loss of any species can have an outsized impact on the continent's overall biodiversity. Many of these species are particularly vulnerable to threats such as climate change, habitat destruction, and